This AskReddit user asks, what are some crazy conspiracy theories? That the plants aren't real. I worked with a guy who was not only a flat earther, but who also insisted that NASA was lying and instead of planets and stars existing we really lived under a dome with little lights in it. When asked why no one had bumped into the side of the dome while flying or on a ship he'd reply, "When you reach the edge of the world you immediately get transported back to the other side of the dome." Thus flying or sailing from Australia to California the fastest way is using the dome to teleport. Dude was almost 70 and had done more drugs in his life than Ozzy Osbourne. He wasn't joking. I experience dissociation and have frequently looked at the sky and thought it was a painting. Just cannot see it as real. Like when you look at an illusion and can't unsee it when your mind clicks. I have a massive complex about being in a simulation. Set up or dream. I've never actually believed it though. When you reach the edge of the world you immediately get transported back to the other side of the dome. So something like this? Yup, pretty much. JFK's head just did that. No one shot him. Okay, this one made me laugh so much. Happy Cake Day. That the world, after the Ice Age, consisted entirely out of mud for some time. That the Titanic was in fact the sister ship, Olympic, and the whole catastrophe was a huge insurance fraud. Beyoncé is the devil in human form and that the real Beyoncé is locked in a bunker in Sahara Desert and is going to come out when the devil has fulfilled his purpose. And every time Beyoncé performs, you can kinda see the devil morphed on her face. Okay. This is a new one for me. So, what purpose does the real Beyoncé serve in this plan? What is she going to do when she gets out? Crash her own concert? IDK. I was told this 2 years ago and apparently if you Google it, you find an article about it. Not really crazy, but interesting. Last Thursday-ism. It's not something that people actually believe in, but it is an example of something that can't be proved wrong but not right either. According to this theory the world could have been created last Thursday and all memories you have that takes place before last Thursday have been placed in your brain by a higher being. This theory is impossible to prove false. You could try in the replies and we'll show why. It's also not possible to prove that it's true and that's why scientists don't recognize this as real. I'm curious. Why specifically Thursday and not some other day? I don't know actually. Because that's the day the world started. Duh. Bill Gates wants everyone to get the corona vaccine so he can make money, but the vaccine will kill people to lower the population. Link. Read up, bro. These are all real events. Link. 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 You do know Northwoods didn't go beyond the "get an intern to write this up so I can present it to show we're doing something" phase. Read what was presented. It's absolute trash. Ignoring all the other conspiracies. I smell juice. Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. That 5G towers are part of some government program designed to activate and spread COVID-19. That Bill Gates wants to implant people with mind-controlling chips disguised as a COVID vaccine. This is one of those conspiracies where you have to ask yourself, what does the other party gain from inflicting a mass pandemic into its citizens? Quote, well, have fun with that chip in your neck. I hear this a lot, so many people are actually convinced we are getting killed off or going to be. Flat Earth is my personal favorite. What I find really absurd about it, besides the Earth being flat, is that there is zero explanation for why this is a conspiracy. So imagine the Earth is flat. Why would all the governments of the world, every single sailor or pilot, every scientist etc. be actively working to keep this a secret? Money. Power. Lols? It's like one of those really incomprehensible evil villain plots in a bad superhero film. As I recall, The Flat Earth Society was started as a joke, satirizing ridiculous conspiracy theories. It then morphed into an unironic version of itself. I don't have a source for this. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I'd like to thank the city of Inverness, Scotland for its resurgence, IIRC, rather than being about conspiracy theories. Some of the original modern flat earthers were just making a point about knowledge and science, how much of what we know is based on taking things on trust and we don't truly know it. Which would be fine if only. When the flat earthers actually did the experiments, they'd actually accept the results. Which ones aren't crazy? Link. Refugees eating babies alive. Some ignorant people in the eastern part of Germany really thought it's true. There was a guy that thought that Britain didn't exist. No, it was Finland. I've heard it both ways. That the Denver airport is more than just an airport. Apparently there are a lot of strange buildings, potential tunnels and artwork that doesn't quite add up. Also the horse statue with the glowing eyes that literally killed the guy who made it. Coming from someone who lives near Denver, that horse is creepy as FK. There is a fantastic episode on a podcast called Death by Monsters on Denver Airport and the Lucifer, the horse statue. Holocaust and slavery. That the implausible conspiracy theories are invented by the powerful to distract us in pointless debates such that we miss the true conspiracies. That's recursive as FK. Queen Elizabeth II is a cannibal. Due to the remnants of human bodies and flesh that were found Queen Elizabeth's private freezer. The 92-year-old is known to be a cannibal. This is also because she has shown no signs of slowing down at 92 and she is also known to have very sharp and jagged teeth which can all be tied back to the consumption of human flesh. That's just English teeth for ya. She's not a cannibal because she's secretly a lizard person. Latest is that Bill Gates is involved in the manufacture and spread of COVID-19 so that he can sell vaccines. People forget that he is one of the biggest private donor to WHO for immunization programs in underdeveloped countries. I got one for you. Trump and them knew about the COVID-19 for over a year but were not allowed to tell the world because of the evil people that really run the world, so Trump and them discovered that COVID-19 was weak against steroids, so they promoted eating fast food to help save our country. What is with this god-like worship of Trump? You can thank the news media for that. They are always talking about him and rule of them in America. All publicity is good publicity. Avril Lavigne died and was replaced with a look-alike. Who is a Paul McCartney's daughter? Anything QAnon related. My favorite wacko conspiracy theory is that the general operating theory for corporations and the rich, essentially the same thing, need to keep the majority of the population poor. When people are poor, they are under pressure. That's when bad decisions are made. And the decision is among options that go from poor to terrible. When people are poor, they have fewer options available to them. And those options can be curated by corporations, etc., to entail both the maximum cost to the consumer, the most draconian constraints, and the maximum financial punishment for failure to abide by the constraints. This is what a cycle designed to keep people in poverty looks like. And it's all done for the benefit of the people at the top. Oh, wait a minute. You're implying that chaotic situations with hundreds of millions of individuals making messy decisions is in fact ultra-planned operations. The problem with conspiracy theorists are, they're either crazy or they're right, and a disturbing amount of them have ended up being right. The Princess Diana one always interests me. That Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. That he didn't act alone as the mother of all this conspiracy CP. The Warren Commission did an incredible job for 1964. They did a better job than the House Committee 15 years later, which based their conclusion of a second gunman on a recording that began after the actual shooting. Before they found the recording, They had concluded that Oswald acted alone. A few kooks started writing books that all boiled down to, "This doesn't look the way I think it should." And an industry was born. The scientists that had done the work felt that the skeptics were so obviously wrong. They did little to debunk them. Now most people believe in this nonsense, though there is absolutely no evidence supporting it. At least you don't deny the undeniable forensic evidence that Oswald was the shooter. Most people don't even believe that. When even the Soviets investigated and couldn't find any evidence of a wider conspiracy, you kind of have to face the facts: the Oswald acted alone. Why would the government of the Soviet Union be the go-to investigators of record into the happenings in right-wing or mafia circles in Dallas? They might be able to discount that Oswald was working for them. Or maybe even Cuba. But that'll be about as far as it goes. That every few days this question is posted by them? To check if we've discovered them yet. Well, clearly we haven't if they keep asking. I wonder if we are even warm yet? Repost after repost. All for karma. Sad. Well, I spend hours on Reddit lurking, so I pick some things up. I don't mean reposting. I mean the quotes. Some crazy conspiracy theories, etc. Trump is a good president. IDK. Beside anti-vax and flat earth, most of them are just bad copies. The Simpsons is real footage. UFOs are atmospheric life forms. Mars is habitable. The lottery exists to catch time travelers. JFK shot himself. Water is not from Earth. Eating food makes you age. The moon was built by aliens. Blood farms for the elite. The lottery one is definitely my favorite. Is this why so many lottery winners have terrible lives afterwards or even died? I believe the part about food making you age. I might be the only human in this world full of robots who are programmed to imitate my kind. Nvidia manipulated BTC prices in 2017 to sell more GPUs. Apparently there was a time when YouTube only played one ad for a video. Blasphemy. My dear sweet child. Please Google ad blocker or uBlock origins. I haven't seen an ad on YouTube for what? 3 to 4 years? Believe me, I would like that. But having to disactivate it for news articles all the time for school is a pain. It's a pain. But clicking 2 buttons is less of a pain than a lifetime of ads for me. Everything that Eddie Bravo is talking about. LO. You know this dude? He is like a dumb weird kid from Alex Jones and that Ancient Aliens Greek guy. Link. I personally refuse to believe Nebraska exists. I mean, there's a few states that don't seem real. But Nebraska takes the cake. Have you ever ran into someone and they go, "Howdy"? Do they even say howdy? I'm from Nebraska. No. Because it's not a place. Once I met this woman at a hotel on a school trip. And she shakes my hand and she goes, "Hi. I'm Diane and this is my husband Bob. And we're from Nebraska." I mean, obviously they were paid actors. Diane? Bob? Get outta here. I live in Nebraska. I can confirm it does not exist. Who's paying you to say this? The money good? It's okay. But cost of living is so cheap in Nebraska. The richest of the rich sacrifice babies because they're in a cult and they traffic kids. Though as time goes by and certain things are revealed, I'm starting to believe this is actually true. I don't think it's a cult. But the mega rich are definitely into kitty fiddling. But why? Are this powerful people really such dump that they believe in sacrifice? Like, is it to be a disgusting human being part of getting super rich and powerful? Epstein's death was really one of the most FD up thing the world ever witnessed. Freaking Prince Andrew was besties with Epstein. I wouldn't call it crazy but really odd. The theory is called the phantom time theory, where the world isn't living in 2020. But in the 1400s, 1500s or so. What I mean by this is that the date is not 2020, but it is actually set back hundreds of years ago because some really powerful kings decides they wanted to rule in the 1000s. Or when a full millennia has passed from AD. This is because apparently there is a large gap of nothing happening in history. As in a gap of hundreds of years of nothing happening. I can't explain it well myself, as you can see. But it's interesting to look at. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.